Today's topic is how banks are incentivized to foreclose. I'm Steve Kramer of the Kramer Law Firm. I am a Florida foreclosure defense attorney. How are banks incentivized to foreclose? The way that loans are processed is they get transferred multiple times and they get securitized. And we've got another video topic on securitization. It's an intricate process, but this loan moves around a lot. And if you've been paying attention to the market, meaning not the stock market, not the real estate market, all of it, you know the market's been in the tank. A lot of banks have gone down, and what's happened is you've had other banks that have come in to buy up these old banks. And a lot of times part of the deal when one bank takes over another bank is that there's certain guarantees written into that deal. So, you know, Bank One West takes over Bank Wells Fargo, for example. Well, Wells Fargo has all this bad debt that One West is going to take on, and the way that the FDIC incentivizes this is they say, look, if you take on this bad debt, we're going to guarantee a quarter of it. So if these loans go bad and you go to foreclosure, we're going to pay you back for a quarter of the original loan value. Well, what happens is Bank A takes over Bank B, they pay 50 cents in the dollar for these loans, and already they're guaranteed to be paid back a quarter of that. So they're only in it for really 25% of the loan. Now, the only way they get this guarantee, though, is if they get a judgment for foreclosure or whatever the deal is with the FDIC, but usually it's getting a judgment for foreclosure and having the property go to auction and sale. And what happens is they're now incentivized to foreclose. They are now incentivized to get that judgment against you. So you're wondering, why can't I get that modification? Why can't I get that short sale done? Why can't I get something out of the bank? And the answer is sometimes there's more that meets the eye. There's also some other issues out there where the banks can actually make money on a foreclosure. There's a thing called reinsurance. So when you put a bunch of notes together into a mortgage-backed security, they hire this company, for example AIG, to actually insure the debt, right? So that if your mortgage goes bad, they actually trigger getting paid back on the amount. So now you're talking about government guarantees, reinsurance, and a variety of other incentives from the FDIC, the Treasury, the government, whoever, to actually foreclose on you. And if you've heard the bank doesn't want my house back, sometimes that's right, but a lot of times that's wrong. Why am I telling you this? Because you've probably got a lot of questions about this. If you're looking at a foreclosure, you've probably been racking your brain trying to figure out, what can I do? The thing is, I deal with this every day, and I'd be glad to talk with you. Call me at the number below. I'd love to talk to you anytime. Also, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, click the like button below. This way your friends and family can get the valuable information that I'm giving you. Thanks for watching. I'm Steve Kramer, the Kramer Law Firm.